Yay! It is part 2 of our Shopify series where I am teaching you how you can create your Shopify store to sell your products online. Stay tuned. Hey Hustle Babes! It is Chanel the Brand Hustler, and this is a channel for all of my hustle babes who are interested in gaining insight on the entrepreneur journey while learning essential marketing and business tips for their brand. If that sounds like you, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and join the Hustle Babe community. Today is part 2 of our Shopify series where I am teaching you how you can create your very own online store to sell your products. And in today's video, we are covering everything that has to do with the front end design of your store. So we're going to be talking about how you can design banners using my favorite tool, Canva. We're going to be talking about how you can create your collection images, how to set up your menu items and your whole entire navigation. I'm going to be sharing with you some design keys that your website needs. So if you're interested in any of that stuff, make sure that you stay tuned for the entire video. And if you just want to learn how to do one over the other, I am going to be putting chapters down below so that you can click the specific chapter that you're interested in learning and start from there. Before we hop to the computer, I want to share with you my design keys for designing a high converting website. And these are design keys that I actually share with my eHustle Club members, which is my monthly group coaching program where we meet twice a month for a live class and Q&A session, and they get a bunch of different resources, ebooks, and past classes and bonus classes within their dashboard. So if the eHustle Club is something that you're interested in, then you definitely want to click the link in my description box and join the eHustle Club. But the 3 design keys that I live by are that your website needs to be informative, interactive, and intuitive. And you need to do this by making sure that your website is well branded, user friendly, and it's set up to be a conversion machine. If you're interested in learning what I mean by any of those, you definitely want to go ahead and join the eHustle Club, because we actually did a class on how to design a high converting website, and you don't want to miss out on that. But for today's video, I am going to show you the basics of how you can design a banner, collection images, navigational options, and all that jazz. Now we can head to the computer.
So first, let's go ahead and start off with our banners. To do this, you're going to log into your Shopify account, and then you're going to click Online Store. Once you click Online Store, your themes are going to automatically be selected, and the theme that you have at the top that's published will be here. But remember, I added a new theme that I wanted to use, which was Boundless. So all I would do is then click Customize so that I can start customizing this theme, okay? So I have already clicked Customize, and it has already opened up into a new tab for me. And this is pretty much what it looks like. So once you get here, there's kind of like an outline of what Shopify thinks you should do with your store. So you have like the basic banner area, then you have a menu area. They tell you can write about your brand right here, and then they have like your newsletter stuff. And I already actually added my collection list, but let's just ignore that. But this is the basics of what Shopify gives you with the Boundless theme. Now, every theme is going to look different when it comes to the template. It just depends on what you pick. I picked the Boundless theme because I love the kind of full-sized kind of view that it gave me for my banner option, okay? So on the left-hand side are all of the sections of your actual website that you can edit. So you see that you can edit your sidebar menu here. You can also edit your header, which is the announcement part right here. You can edit your slideshow, which is this empty part right here. And then you can also edit your action bar, which is actually kind of like, on this theme, it's kind of like your horizontal menu, but then you also have a sidebar menu, which is pretty cool. And then down here where it says talk about your brand is actually the rich text. And you have your home page kind of collection. And then you have an area for people to join your newsletter. And then, like I said, I added this myself. Now, if you want to add a section, all you do is click add in section, and then you can pick what you want. So you can add like blog posts, collection list, which is something I added already, which is the list of a couple of collections I'm going to add to my site. You can highlight a featured collection. You can have an image with text over it, highlight a featured product, add another opt-in for a newsletter, add a map for your store, add additional text, video, and then if you know what you're doing and you know how to custom code, you can add custom HTML, which is super cool. So you can do a lot. So even though they give you kind of like a predetermined template, you can pretty much add whatever you want to it. And you can also remove what you want. So for me, I'm not going to use this talk about your brand area. So all I'll do is I'll either click this section and then click remove section. Or if I'm thinking I might want to use it later, I could just click the option to hide it. And I could click it to show it if I wanted to pop back up. So that's pretty much what I like to do if I think I may use something in the future. I'll just like hide it and then just add it back in the future if I want it. If not, I'll just do the remove section option by going here and then hitting remove section. Now, nothing you do is really permanent because you can add another section and add it back. But just know that anything that you do, so if you had typed something into the actual paragraph that was there and you saved it and then decided to delete it, Shopify has absolutely no recollection of what you typed. So that means once you add it back, you're going to have to type it over again. But if you do want to keep what you typed, then all you would do is toggle on and off the eye so that it could show when you wanted it to. And then if you wanted to hide it, you can hide it by clicking that. Okay. But first, what we're going to do is we're going to design this banner area right here. I actually utilize Photoshop a lot, but for the sake of this video, I'm going to be utilizing Canva. So I love Canva. I use Canva a lot for a lot of different things, okay? So pretty much what you're going to do is you're going to go into Canva, and then I am going to use the dimensions of 1880 by 940 px, okay? So make sure it's selected as px and not inches or centimeters or something else. Make sure that it's px. If you're following this verbatim, I love using 1880 by 940 because it gives me a large enough space for me to do a lot of things with, but then it just looks better to me on websites. So I like to use 1880 by 940 for the most part. Sometimes I'll do 1280 by 720, but it just really depends on what I'm designing. But for today, I'm going to use 1880 by 940. So once you're in Canva, all you have to do is hit create a design, and then it will pop up and you can either select from templates that they already have, or you can actually put in your own custom dimensions. So for the sake of this, I'm putting in my custom dimensions, and then I'm going to hit create a design. Once I hit create a design, it's going to pretty much load up kind of like a blank canvas for me to utilize. So it's going to load up a blank canvas. I have already put in my colors into this canvas. So, but yours will be completely blank. So these are specific color codes that I've already predetermined I want it for my brand. And I've already came into Canva, making sure that I inputted these colors, okay? So the way that you would know your exact color codes for your brand is by selecting them. But what you want to do is you want to make sure that you think about what your brand stands for. So my brand stands for kind of like upper class, but not really, kind of like bougie-ish, where you are buying luxurious items, but you sometimes don't want to spend that amount of money, but you still want to live that type of lifestyle. So my brand is all about giving you that luxury experience without necessarily giving you the extremely high price tag. It's super feminine, super girly. So what I am going to do is I wanted to utilize two different shades of pink. One is more of a mauve, one is a lighter pink. Then I have gold to touch on that luxurious type of feel. I have a neutral here as a cream, and then I have a white, and then I have another neutral here, which is my black. So it gives me some contrast between white and black, but then I also have a nice neutral shade of cream, and then I have my main colors, which are going to be these two shades of pink and then my metallic gold, okay? Now, if you are concerned with, okay, Chanel, well, how in the world did you just decide that off the top of your head? That's because I've studied colors. I basically know how to connect certain colors with certain brands to evoke a certain emotion. So if you need help with that, you can go ahead and book a brand strategy session with me, and we'll talk more about your brand, and we'll go from there to kind of hash out what your vision should be, your mission, talk about your target audience, your colors, your overall look for your brand, etc. And like I mentioned before, these are exact color codes. So I didn't come in here guessing what colors I wanted. I came in here and I put in the colors to be exactly what I want. So let me show you what a color code is. So if I were to click this and then hover over this and click this, you see how this is telling me this is pound F59291. It means that I can literally copy this code and change anything to be this color. So let's say I added a new page and I wanted the background to be that same pink, right? All I have to do is hit this, And then all I have to do is type in the code right here into Canva, select this, and boom, it is the same exact pink as this right here. And that is the purpose of color codes, is to get the same exact color no matter what. All right. So once you're in Canva and you've already set up what you want your dimensions to be, which we're doing 1880p x by 940, what you're going to do is you want to upload all of the images that you want to use. Now, I've already pre-uploaded most of my images that I'm going to use for today's tutorial, but I left 2 to upload just so that I can walk you through the process. So you click upload an image or a video, and then you will select from your location on your computer what image you actually want to upload, okay? So I am going to choose the 2 I want to upload from my computer, and then Canva is going to go back and it's going to show you that it's uploading. So I'm uploading the remaining 2 images up here. So all of my images are uploaded right here that I'm going to use for this tutorial. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start designing my banner. So I'm going to do 2 different banners, and one of my banners is going to have more of a slogan. So first things first, I want to get my image that I want to use on here. So looking at this, I'm probably going to use the most bougie image on here, and I'm going to use this lady right here, okay? So this lady, super bougie with the entire outfit. So all I'm going to do is size it to be whatever size I want. And what I love to do is I love to kind of get a vibe of where she could be. And then I'm going to place her on a different background. So how I'm going to do that is I'm going to click effects, and then I'm going to click background remover. Now, Canva has a free version and a paid version. The free version does not include the background remover. At least last time I checked, it didn't. You're going to need to upgrade to Canva Pro to do that. But there is the link in my description box. If you want to test out Canva Pro for free for 30 days, you can do that, and then you can upgrade after, because some of the things that I'm going to be using today are only going to be available on the paid version. Now, a lot of what I'm doing today will be available on the free version, but if you want the extra kind of pizzazz, you're going to need to upgrade to the paid version, okay? But I do have a referral link down below that you can go ahead and click if you want to sign up for Canva. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to remove the background. And it's going to take a while to kind of load. And then what I want to do to double check to make sure the background is gone is I'm just going to change this to a random color. Let's do blue. And I'm going to see where the fur kind of ends. And then I'm going to go back here to background remover. And then what I'm going to do is I'm then going to hit this erase tool. And I'm going to kind of zoom in to kind of see. Let's do 75 to kind of see what areas I need to remove. So I'm going to change it back to white. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add my text here, okay? So I like to just type my text and then I like to edit it afterwards. So I'm going to type whatever text I'm feeling like should be on here. So because this is going to be one of my main banners, I'm going to put turn up the, and then I'm going to make a separate word for heat. And then I'm going to make a separate word for in the latest. So turn up the heat in the latest. So pretty much I'm saying it's cold outside, but you can still bring the heat because you're about to look fire. That's pretty much what I'm going for. Now, what I want to do with these words is I want to make this cursive and I want to make this be like my bold. Okay. So for the cursive words, all right, so I'm just going to change this to be a script. Okay. And the good thing about this is you guys are walking it through with me so that you can kind of see what it looks like. I'm testing out stuff as I'm doing this to show you guys that, you know, it's nothing wrong with having to go through a couple of things to see what you like. So I am going through a couple of different kind of script options that I like to see what's my favorite. Let me check out Amsterdam something. Yeah, I think Amsterdam 4. That's a little hard to read. Let me see what happens when I make it bigger. Oh, okay. Perfect. This is actually fine with me. All right. So I'm going to make it a little bit bigger so you can see turn up and I'm going to change heat. So what I'm doing right now is I'm trying to pick kind of fonts that complement each other. So whenever you're doing a script, you want to use like a serif is what it's called, because that usually like complements script very well. So you can type those things into Canva to kind of find ones that you like, and you can test out what it looks like with each other there. Okay. So I'm just going through. This one is kind of okay. Turn up the heat. That one's kind of okay. So I'll probably do that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this into a serif as well. Why can't I talk today? Let me see something. And this is me going off of already knowing somewhat about fonts. And I'm going to then change this to all caps by just clicking these dots next to effects and then switching it to this. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it align with everything else. So as you see, although these are very different font sizes, I'm making them align because that just makes it look somewhat symmetrical, okay? So I want it to be like this, and then I think a line would look really cute underneath the word heat. So I'm gonna add a line underneath heat, and then it's gonna have the latest under it. So already this is looking really good without me even adding the colors. Like, this is already looking bomb.com, even on a white background, like. And I just did that in probably like 3 minutes, okay? But I'm going to take it a step further, and I'm going to make it look just a little bit better by adding some of those metallic elements. So something that I love to do is I love to make my metallic stuff outside of Canva and upload it to Canva. Canva does have some metallic elements within there. So if you wanted to look for things that are already in Canva, you would click elements, and then you would search Elements Pro. And you can type in like metallic gold, and you can see what they kind of bring up for you. They'll bring up like a couple of different options, and you can go through this to see if there's something you want to use. Something else you can do too is just type in gold or whatever metallic you're looking for, silver, and they'll bring up just different abstract items that you can utilize. And you can make something from nothing pretty much. So if I wanted to use this line that they already have, I can pretty much add it, and then I could put it here, and I can size it to be whatever size I need it to be to make it look good. You know what I'm saying? You can do pretty much whatever you want. But because I already have the metallic that I want to use, I'm going to go to my uploads because I've uploaded it already, and I'm going to add it right here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it into its own kind of line. So all I did was reduce the size by doing this. And then I'm going to drag it under the word heat. And I'm probably going to make this, I'm probably going to make it right underneath the heat. So I'm going to bring it in a little bit. And then I'm going to bring this down some. Then I'm going to put it right underneath heat. So now it has like a little metallic pop to it, okay? Now, something that I love to do is I love to add like elements to the back, okay? So remember what my colors are. They're pink, gold, light pink, well, not light pink, kind of like a mauve, black, and then cream, okay? So what I'm going, and also white. So what I'm going to do, since I have white and black here, I'm going to see if I can play around with the background a little bit. So I've already pulled out the background out of this image. So what I am going to do is I'm going to look in photos. So Canva, when you're on Canva, there are a couple of different things that you can utilize. You can upload all of your stuff, which will live under uploads. You can utilize their photo bank, right? Which you have more photos if you pay for Canva versus the free version. You can utilize different elements that they already have for you. And then they have text options. You can also upload your own if you use the paid version. You can utilize like music, videos, different backgrounds, things like that, right? It's a lot, right? And I actually have a Canva class that I've already pre-made that I'm going to be releasing really soon. So if you're interested in that, comment down below and let me know that you're interested in the Canva class. And if you're watching this and you're like, oh my goodness, this is so much, I don't think I can do this by myself, then definitely book a call with me and we could talk about it, and we can possibly talk about my agency doing it for you, or I can help you out, okay? So pretty much I'm going to go to photos and I'm going to Google like a background I think would look cute here. So first I'm just going to type in luxury, and I'm going to see what Canva gives me when I type in luxury. All right. And I see that they're giving me vacation vibes mostly. Okay. Like, let's talk about it. This kind of looks cool. It kind of looks like a vacation house. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop it behind here, and I'm going to see how it looks. It's all right. It's all right. So I'm going to keep going to see if that's what I want to use. I see another one here that's more like a hallway. So I'm going to drag and drop it behind. Oops. Dragged and dropped it in the wrong place, y'all. I'm going to drag and drop it behind here to see what that looks like. And that kind of looks good a little bit. So now what I want to do is I'm going to fade it out a little bit because I don't want it to dominate so much. So I'm just going to click right here. So what I did was I clicked up here. I clicked the actual image. Then this popped up. This means transparency. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to reduce it just a little bit. All right. And then I don't like how the arm cuts off here. So I'm probably going to want to move my text. So I'm going to select all of this stuff. Wait, let's do it this way. Let's lock the background. And then let's select all of this text like this. I'm probably going to move some of this over so that it looks like my text is cutting it off a little bit. I don't know if I like that. Kind of like it being far away. Oh, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to make it switch sides. Or actually, let's see how it looks when I flip it. So I'm going to flip it horizontally. Bam! So now the part that I don't like is on the other side. So I'm going to move my text back over to where it was because I kind of like it over here. All right. So now what I did was flip the image horizontally, and then now the arm is over there that I don't like. So now it says turn up the heat in the latest. Yes. And now I'm going to make it just a tad bit bigger because this is like a good chunk of my banner. All right. So turn up the heat in the latest. And I am going to change this to be some type of metallic feel. With Canva, unfortunately, you can't like change it like to a T to be metallic. But what I like to do is I like to use the different shades of the metallic object I've already uploaded and then turn each letter into a different shade. So for example, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go light with the H, and then I'm going to go dark with the E, or at least darker with the E. Then I'm going to go even darker with that E, and then I'm with that A, and then I'm going to go back light with the T. I think it was this light. No, it was probably this one. I'm going to go back light with that. So now it looks semi kind of metallic. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to click effects, and I'm going to add either a shadow or a lift. Let's see how it looks with a lift. Don't like it. So now I'm going to add a shadow, and I'm going to make the shadow black, and I'm going to adjust the transparency to be very dark. And I'm actually going to make the offset less because I want it to be more behind, and make it all the way black. So transparency at 100% means that it's not transparent at all. 0% means it's the most transparent. So now I have turn up the heat in the latest, and I kind of like it how it is. I'm going to see how white looks just to check. And I don't really like it. So I'm going to turn this back to black. I'm going to see how white looks with this wording. And let's see what happens if I add a lift. Nah, let's see what happens if I add a shadow that's black. It could work. All right, so now I got turn up the heat in the latest. And this is my banner, okay? So the reason why I chose these words is because, like I said, I'm all about being warm and bougie. So I'm telling you that although it's cold outside, you're gonna look so fire that you are turning up the heat. And pretty much when they click this banner, I'm gonna take them to my latest collection. So if I wanted to, I could add a button here. Or I could just leave it how it is and just have it just rotate, and then you can click the banner. I'm going to leave it how it is. Now, all I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same thing, but this time I'm not going to talk through it. I'm going to do the same thing, but I'm going to do a different banner that says probably something about luxury looks without the cost, okay? So I'm going to add another page, same size. So when you add a new page, it's the same exact size. It's just going to be blank. I'm going to go to uploads, and I'm going to use a different image, same girl. And just for context, because my slideshow, my banners are going to be rotating, I'm going to put this on this side. All right. I'm going to make my background blue. And let's start walking through this process. And bam, now I have a banner. And then now all I have to do is hit download on Canva, right? And so all of these options are available to you if you pay for the Canva Pro. Some of these download options will not be available to you with the free version, but most of them will be available. And I'm going to select the pages I want. So the pages I want are page 2 and 3 because that's where I design my banners at. And then I am going to download. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and download these banner images. And then once they are downloaded, they're going to ask me where to save it to. You pick whatever you want. All right, I've saved them. All right, so now that we have our banners saved, I'm going to go ahead and upload the banners to the website theme. So I'm going to go back to the customized page, which is this page right here. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to upload them to the slideshow portion of my website. So all I've got to do is click where it says image, click upload, select the images that I want to upload. All right. And then once I upload them, all I have to do is hit select. I then have them arranged to be in the middle. The way that you link the banner is by just in the area where it says button link, you're just going to put whatever you want it to link to, and you can link it to a collection, products, a page, etc. Right now, I'm not going to link it to anything, so I'm going to leave it where it's at. And then I'm going to add another image because we created 2 banners, and I'm going to upload the second image right now. I'm just going to load. I'm going to hit select. Now what we're going to do is we want to get rid of this slide right here. So all I'm going to do where it says slide, it's because the heading says slide. I'm just going to erase it. And then that word is going to automatically go away. Once again, I can link this to something if I wanted it to, but I don't have any products on my store, so I don't need it linked, but that is where you would link it to a collection or something else. Okay. So now I am going to go to the first slide, make sure the words aren't there. Super cool. It's not. Now you see how this looks like there's something hovering over my image. There's a dark overlay. That's because the overlay is set to black and it's actually on. If I wanted to increase the overlay, I would drag up the percentage a little bit more to make it darker. If I wanted to reduce it, I will take it away. I don't want an overlay on my stuff, so I'm just going to leave it at 0. I'm also going to click the auto rotate slide so that my banner can automatically rotate. Now, something to note about this theme that I'm using right here, which is boundless, is that you'll see when I hit save, the preview is going to look different on different devices. So right now it is cutting off a little bit of her arm. If I were to preview it as a phone, it's cutting off majority of my banner. Only when I preview it as a desktop, which is this right here, it now shows me the full image. So what you need to do so that it can automatically adjust with this particular theme is you need to switch from full screen to adapt to first image, then hit save. And so what that is going to do is it's going to make the image adaptable no matter which platform you're on. So full screen on an actual desktop, it will adjust like this. And then on a tablet, it will adjust like this. And on a phone, it will adjust like that. All right. Now, unfortunately, with this theme, there's only so much that you could customize in terms of the banner. But either way, even if you had to use this free theme and you utilize the steps I just gave you, you can still create a pretty good website banner. Okay. So now what I'm going to do before I continue on to make the website collection images is I'm actually going to show you how you can change the colors of your navigational menu and different things on your website. Okay. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to go here where it says theme settings, and then I'm going to click colors. You can then edit the colors right here. So it tells you what the colors are for, and you can edit it, okay? So you can go through and edit all the colors to be something that obviously complements your brand. Once again, my brand is the pink, gold, darker pink, white, and black. So obviously I can like say, okay, well, I want my navigation menu to be like all like hot black, like how it is right there. I want maybe my buttons to be like the certain pink. And then what you would do is that same code, remember that code that I told you existed within Canva? So if we go back to Canva and I wanted to put maybe my buttons in this pink, all I need to do is grab the code, which if you have your logo, got your logo made by a professional designer, they usually give you your color codes. But then all I have to do is paste the color codes in here. And now any button that I create is now going to have this color code, which is super cool, okay? And then that's pretty much how you would change the colors for everything. You can change the colors for everything over there. You can even change the types of fonts that's on your website by just going to typography and selecting what fonts you actually want to appear. So fonts are gonna change everything from like your navigational options, your newsletter, your descriptions. You can change all of that font right here. So it'll say what do you want your heading text to be, what you want your body text to be, and the size and all that stuff, okay? I'm gonna leave the basics as it is right now because the purpose of this video is to show you how to design a banner, collection image, and then show you how to adjust your navigational options, okay? So pretty much that's it. You see how this button has already changed to be the pink because I typed it in. So I'm just gonna save my changes. Now I'm gonna show you how to create collection images. So I'm gonna go back to Canva. What I like to create my collection images is I like to create them as squares. So I utilize the Instagram post kind of dimensions on Canva, or you can just put in like 10 by 10 or anything like that. Anything that's even length and width means that it'll be a square. So I have my square here. I've already imported my colors. Now the collections that I'm going to do is I'm going to have a trench coat collection, a fur collection, and I'm also going to have a leather collection. So I'm going to go to my uploads once again, where I've uploaded all of my images. And you can see like the different images I want to use are here. First things first is I want to apply kind of like a gold outline to all of my collection images. So I'm going to find my metallic gold again, because that's the metallic that I'm going to use. And then I'm going to make sure that this is the background. So I'm going to drag it to make it lock in. All right. And because I'm creating 3 collections, I'm just going to go ahead and duplicate this so that I can have that background be on all 3. And now what I'm going to do is I'm now going to put in my different pictures. Okay. So I am probably going to utilize this looking back picture, and I'm going to size it to be almost full. And I'm going to drag it over a little bit so that it can be even on the top in terms of the border, on the side in terms of the border, and on the bottom. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the rest of the white box by clicking elements. And then I'm going to click box when it comes up. So this box, and then I am going to line it up. And Canva kind of gives you grid lines so that you can line things up. I'm going to drag it down, line it up. I'm going to push this backwards, and then I'm going to change this box from cream to white so that it looks like it's the full background was white. It's like magic, right? And then what I'm going to do again with this is I'm going to go ahead and lock it into place just so that it doesn't move really. So I'm going to do that to the other 2 as well, but I'm going to use different images, okay? And bada bing, bada boom, everything's all gravy, okay? Actually, let me make this a little bit more over. So now I have my images for my trench leather collection, and then I have my fur collection. And I just realized that my leather collection has a little gray undertone towards the bottom, and I don't like that. So I'm just going to pull out my background again because I want it to be white. I don't want it to be any grays in there. I'm just going to pull out my background so that I can pull out some of those back there. And now I'm just going to drag my white box to the edge where it lines up. so that it could be all white. Now I'm going to type in my names for each of these collections, and I'm going to use the same exact font I just used for my banner. So this one I believe was Amsterdam 4, and then this one is Playfair Display, and this one is Times New Roman. Okay, so I'm just going to copy these, and I'll choose which two I'm using, because I'm only going to use 2 fonts because I'm going to name everything kind of like 2-word names. So I'm just going to paste all of my words here. And then this is Cute Trench. So I'm going to change this to cute. All right. And I'm going to make this metallic this time. So this one is going to go here. All right, cute, and I'm gonna name it Trenches. And I'm gonna make this black, and then I'm gonna reduce the size because it doesn't need to be that big, but it doesn't need to be that small either. All right, and I'm just gonna erase this because I'm not gonna use this font at all. There we go. So I'm gonna put this somewhere. And like I said, I don't want that behind, I want it to be in front, so I'm just gonna move in the front. And I actually don't like the word trenches. It makes me think like I'm in the struggle. So I'm going to use Cute Trench. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a button now. So Cute Trench. And because I made the buttons on my actual website, that dark pink, I'm going to need to keep that up because I want some consistency, okay? So I'm going to add a button. And so all I'm going to do is I'm going to pick the shape of the button I want. I can pick any shape out of these. Like there's multiple shapes that you can choose from. You can choose circles, whatever. For the sake of this, I'm going to use a rectangle. Boom. Now you have Cute Trench, shop now, okay? And that's pretty much how I'm going to make all of my banner images. So now all I'm going to do is I'm going to copy everything that I just did, and I'm going to literally paste it here, and then I'm just going to switch out the actual word. So for this, I think I said I'm going to name this Fancy Fur. So I'm going to switch this to fancy, switch this to fur. All right. And I'm just going to make fur a little bit bigger because this one has a little bit more space. All right. And then this one, I'm going to name Luxe. All right. Luxe Leather. And now I have my collection images all done. I'm going to go through the same process of saving them. So I'm just going to select the pages that I need saved. You're going to need to go into the back end of Shopify. You're going to click where it says products, and then you're going to select collections. I've already added my trench coat collection. So what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to create a collection for every collection images that you created. So for example, we have the Fancy Fur collection. You can name it the same exact thing, or you can name it something like fur jackets and coats if you want to be a little bit more descriptive. Since you have some words on your actual image, you can be a little bit more descriptive with the actual title of your collection. And then if you want more details on what manual and automated means, you can book a strategy session with me. For the sake of today, I'm just going to be uploading the image, and I'm going to just be naming the collections. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and do the last and final collection I have within Warm and Bougie, which is going to be my Luxe Leather collection. So leather jackets. Then I'm going to add the image for it, which is Luxe Leather image. And then I'm going to hit save. Now, in order for you to have this appear on your website, you'll go back to the customization page where you're at here. And then remember how I told you I added a collection list to my website? All I did was click add section, and then I clicked collection list, which is this right here, okay? So I'm gonna move this up because I want this to be kind of at the top. And then what I'm going to do is I'm then going to click to open it, and I already have it set for 3 collections because I knew I was creating 3 collections today. So what I'm going to do now is I don't want the number of products in my collection to show because that's just ridiculous. So I'm just gonna remove that. And then I don't want a heading at all either. So I'm gonna remove that as well. And then I'm going to just select the collection I want here. So I want my fur jackets to be right here. Then for my second collection, I'm going to put my leather jackets in the middle. And then my third collection, I'm going to select my trench coats. So now you see that the look is kind of coming together. The look is coming together. And if I wanted to, like you see how I put both of my banners here? Let's say I only wanted to use one of my banners here and then I wanted one down here. All I would have to do, so let's hit save. All I would have to do is just add another slideshow to a part of my website. So I can literally hit add section and then I can say that I wanted a slideshow or like another featured image or featured product, okay? And then I can add it to that actual section there, which is super cool, right? And so for the sake of this video, I'm just gonna keep them both right here, but then all I did was add my collections here and you see it says like the actual name down here, but then you can see the full imagery right here, okay? Something else that I love to do is I love to highlight like the new arrivals or the hottest collection. And what you can do is you can click featured collection. So add a featured collection section. And then what you want to do is you want to select the collection you want it to highlight. So for me, I'm going to use my homepage collection, which is this jacket that I added on the last tutorial. If you haven't seen that, that's the back end tutorial where I showed you how to set up your shipping and all that jazz. And then you would just drag that to where you want it to be. So if I wanted it to be underneath where my collection images were, and I wanted them to list out all of the products that are in my new arrivals, it would list out all right here. And then I would have my subscribe to the newsletter down here, which you can also kind of play with the wording by doing this. And then you can also change the colors by going to theme settings and colors like I already told you. Now, what we're going to do is we want our collections to be a part of our navigational options. So let's talk about how you can edit your navigational options so that you can have everything that you need. Instead of it just saying home and catalog, you want it to have certain things, right? So you want to go back to your back end of Shopify. And then what you want to do is you want to click online store. And underneath online store, you're going to click navigation. Within your navigation, it's going to have all of your menus. So we already added all of our policies to our footer menu last time. Now what we're going to do is we're going to edit our main menu. Okay, so the main menu is where it says home and catalog. I want to add my collection, so I'm going to click link, click collection, and I'm going to add each of my collections as an actual menu item. So I'm going to add fur coats and jackets, and because I named this fancy fur, I'm going to type that I want the menu option to say fancy furs, or maybe I just want to say fur coats. I'm going to hit add. I'm going to do the same thing for all of my collections. I'm going to go through. Leather jackets is fine. I'm going to do the same thing for the last and final collection. Trench coats are fine. And then I'm going to delete this catalog because I don't want that to appear. So I'm going to have my menu options is this, and then I'm going to hit save menu. And then let's say I wanted to create some type of sub menu where you have one main item and then you have a drop down menu. If I wanted to do like maybe a shop all option, what I could do is I can type in here like shop all, and then I can link this to like all products or something like that, right? So click all products and it'll hit add. But then what I could do is I could then add again my different collections. So leather jackets, I can add again. I can add again my fur coats, trench coats, et cetera, et cetera. So we're just going to add all of these once again, and you're going to see what I'm going to do in a minute. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag this to be underneath shop all. So now you see how it's becoming a sub menu to shop all. So now my menu items are going to say home, fur coats, leather jackets, trench coats, shop all, and it's going to have the option to drop down and still select a collection. So when I hit save and then I go back to my actual website, right? I'm going to go back here and I'm going to refresh this so that I can have my new changes. And I'm going to show you what the full out preview looks like by extending this and moving my face out the way. And now you see that you have your banner here. And for some reason, my thing isn't loading all the way, but you have your banner here. And then you have your menu items here. And then if I click shop all, it will go to the link, but then look, it pops out with all of these. Or what I could do is I could kind of toggle with shop all, and then I can have my stuff kind of pop up. You see that? And it will show me like what else is underneath shop all, which is pretty cool, right? And then just go back home. And this is pretty much your website. Now, this isn't where you want to stop. You, of course, want to add, like I said, a highlighted collection where you can highlight either your new arrivals or your hottest items. And then you can add some more stuff to the bottom, like follow you on Instagram and all that jazz. But this should give you a basic of how to start. If you do want more guidance, like I said, book a brand strategy session with me. If I find out that you will benefit from just having our team do it for you, either you're stuck, you don't know how to utilize Canva still, and you just want somebody else to do it for you, our agency can do that for you. So definitely go ahead and book a brand strategy call. The link is in the description box. And then also remember to sign up for Canva Pro. The link is also in the description box. But pretty much that is all for today's video. I'm going to take you to the outro and then we'll be done.
All right, y'all, so that pretty much wraps up part 2 of this Shopify series. You now know how to build your website on the back end, which was part 1, and now you know how to design your website on the front end, which was part 2, so you could go out there and build your own website. If you still are confused or you want an expert to do it, feel free to hire my agency, the Hustle Babe Agency. You can click the link in the description and go straight to my website, which is www.thebrandhustler.com, and then click the tab that says my agency, and it will take you to my agency's website where you can see some of the websites we've designed, and you can also book a call with us to talk about your website vision, if we can do it and if it works with your budget. If you're not already subscribed to this channel, make sure that you go ahead and hit the subscription button and follow me on Instagram at The Brand Hustler, or my personal Instagram at I am Chanel Q. Share this video with someone that you know that it can help, and stay tuned for all of the bomb.com content that I have coming your way. Other than that, I'm gonna be out of here, Hustle Babes. Bye.